Hi everyone, Evie here. It's been a long time since I've seen you last, but I'm a college student, exam time, I'm sure you know the drill, and now I'm home with my family and there's baking and cooking and shopping and wrapping presents. So I've been a little busy to say the least, but I'm back, and today I'll be reviewing Atlantia by Condie. Can you hear Atlantia breathing? For as long as she can remember, Rio has dreamed of the sand and sky above, of life beyond her underwater city of Atlantia. But in a single moment, all Rio's hopes for the future are shattered when her twin sister, Bay, makes an unexpected choice, stranding Rio Below. Alone, ripped away from the last person who knew Rio's true self and the powerful siren voice she has long silenced, she has nothing left to lose. Guided by a dangerous and unlikely mentor, Rio formulates a plan that leads to increasingly treacherous questions about her mother's death, her own destiny, and the corrupted system constructed to govern the divide between land and sea. Her life and her city depend on Rio to listen to the voices of the past and to speak long-hidden truths. So this book isn't about mermaids. When I first saw the cover, I kind of thought it might be about mermaids, and I was excited, but it isn't, unfortunately. Still, it's a really good book. It is about two sisters who live below in this sort of, it seems almost like a post-apocalyptic version of Atlantis. So everyone living there is a human, but they are in this underwater sort of bubbled city from the sea, so they're not really connected to the sea. They're literally right next to it, but divided from it. Apparently a long time ago, the earth was becoming polluted and people were dying, so they decided to construct this underwater fortress so that people could survive. So people do still live on the earth, but they toil away to provide resources to the people who live in Atlantia below. I really liked the story because it was kind of a mystery novel. Rio is going about trying to figure out why her sister left her, how her mother died, and what were the circumstances behind it, because her mother died pretty couple months, it seemed, before the events occur in this book, and she goes and speaks to many people regarding that to try and figure out the truth. Rio makes a friendship with a boy named True, which I thought was a cute name, because True, it seems, never lies, and True's name is actually very smart, because you'll find out later it kind of sort of makes sense with an ability of his. Rio has a powerful siren voice, it says in the description. So sirens, which most people would think are kind of like mermaids, are an actual thing in Atlantia. They are people, but they are people who have voices that can, like sirens of myths and legends, can sort of persuade people to do what they want. So if you speak in your siren voice, which everyone can hear and everyone recognizes, you can persuade people to do what you want. When these sirens came about in Atlantia, they were silenced, more so by having them segregated away from the community so they couldn't actually impose their threat of persuasion onto the entire masses. But Rio's mother didn't want her to be taken away from her, so Rio has kept her true voice hidden for a very long time and doesn't use it until her sister Bay leaves, and then things kind of start to unravel and her true voice is really the thing that might save them all. I really liked the description of Atlantia itself. Can you hear Atlantia breathing? It makes it sound like it's an alive thing, and the fact that all throughout you can hear, apparently some people can hear people of the past speaking in the walls. Their voices have been kept there, and Rio starts to hear screaming, and it's just really cool how this sort of man-made thing, it's not even magical. You think it's magical because it sounds like Atlantis, and let's face it, Atlantis is kind of a fabled myth and seems really mystical, but even this man-made creation is so magical and magically written in the book that you think it is alive. There are a lot of betrayals in this book, and you feel bad for Rio because she seems sometimes she seems a little naive, but then you quickly realize that maybe she's just trying to find out more information, or she's just trying to get on people's good sides to see where they're at so she can kind of figure out what their intentions are. She does this with her aunt, who is also a siren, a very well-known siren in Atlantia. She seems to do this with the boys she meets, and among other people she meets in like the Jeep market and people at the temple that she used to work at with her sister after her mother's death. And you just really see her character grow from the point when her sister leaves her. She's kind of a quiet, seems kind of like a shy mouse almost, and then by the end of it she's just all out there and not afraid. I highly recommend you pick up this book. It's a great post-apocalyptic read. It seems like I keep getting drawn to post-apocalyptic books even though I'm not trying to, but hey, they're a great sort of realization of where can our world go, and this was one sort of viewpoint that I really enjoyed, having an underwater fortress so we could all survive. That's kind of cool in my opinion. Pick up Atlantia by Condie. I will see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading.